And just like that, my friend, we are live. This is Longbox Punk. I am Chris. He is Nick with the Phoenix Press. Dude, thanks for checking out and hanging in with me. I don't think that I said those words in the right order, but it's live, so it's just going to roll with it.
It's a thought that counts.
That's right. I'm giving it my best, you know? That's what's happening. Nick, thanks for hanging out with me on a Monday evening. I'm excited to talk to you about your comic, about the scene, about music, and about who knows what else we're going to get into. So tell me, or tell any viewers, who you are, why comics, why now, how'd you end up here?
Well, I am Nick from the Phoenix Press, and how I ended up here was, my mommy and my daddy were feeling a bit frisky. Okay. I'll save you the life story. Okay. No, I've always been a fan of the comic books medium, and I've also always been a very creative person, one way or another. And so I kind of just, I got a bit dissatisfied with like what Marvel was doing. So like that, I was like, fine, I'll do it myself. And so basically, I'm basically just out here telling the stories that I want to see, telling the stories that that I wish other people would do. So I'm like, you know what? I'll do it myself.
How very DIY of you. I love like that exact sentiment has come up on probably like 60% of my interviews of like, I didn't see a book that was the kind that I wanted, so I decided I was going to make the book that I wanted to see on the spinner racks. And I like, I just think it's great. So tell me then, what is the book that you made that wasn't that didn't exist yet?
Well, there's a couple of them, but the one we're kind of most important right now was really actually my first comic book creation back in like 2005, 2006. I was still in high school when I did this, and it was kind of like a combination of all the things I love, like cyberpunk, samurai, all the stuff like from the Matrix, and just all like just putting it into a blender, adding some of your own spices, and after you cleaned up your apartment because you got to put the top on, that's what came out.
So what? So you mentioned like the Matrix, and you mentioned samurai. Like, were there because it's about a samurai? I wanted to ask: are you one of the like movie goers that has watched all of the old like shonen samurai shows and the movies and the none of it? No.
I mean, I've seen some of it. I'm not gonna start saying like I am like the biggest Akira Toriyama. See, that's how big of a fake fan I am. I am like the biggest Akira Kurosawa fart sniffer. See, that's how bad of a fake fan I am. I almost said Akira Toriyama. I got my Akiras mixed up. Which, by the way, I love Akira.
Right. I mean, I also love Akira Toriyama. So like you were right. Like what a guy. Keep that right there. So like how did you end up writing a story about a samurai?
Oh, it's you're either a samurai person or you're a ninja person growing up, especially in the 2000s, and I was more of a samurai person. And for me, I've always like this is gonna cause so much controversy, but they are kind of Japanese knights in a way. I know they are completely different, they are completely different, but from a from a 5 light year above perspective, they're kind of similar.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
And I'm officially canceled. I pissed off everybody.
And just so anybody knows, he said that. I didn't say that. And so his opinions are his own. And I'm aware that samurai are not nice. So tell me, so you've got issue 4 running right now in its final week on Indiegogo. So what's the story so far of 2100 Samurai? How like what's happening in this issue? Give me the rundown.
All right, so you got this dude named Kiro, and he's originally a samurai in this like fictional Japanese province called Songor, and they're kind of like this guardians of this like ancient portal. And one day, it opens up, and so him and his fiance Mishi, they go through the portal because that's what they're charged to do, and they end up in the cyberpunk future of 2100. And as they step out, the portal closes behind them, leaving them stranded on the mean streets of Neo Detroit.
Okay.
And
So it's like time travel as well.
Time travel. I'm just gonna leave that little dangling thread out there.
Got it.
But yeah. So they run into some people. Mishi immediately gets killed, and Kiro is left on his own, and he's got to find his own way in this alien world. Meets this young lady named Tyler, and they kind of form a bit of a partnership, and that's kind of the status quo going forward. You know, they've had some adventures, they've established themselves. Mishi's come back as a vengeful, cybernetic, I'm trying not to curse here.
I mean, you do you. It's all right. This is a safe channel. You can say
cybernetic bitch.
There it is. There it is. I knew it had. I knew you had it in you.
I was trying to be a good boy.
That's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, so they have some adventures, and they're kind of on the radar of this techno conglomerate called Ensnar, and yeah, so like the first two issues are like a 2-part pilot, and then we're kind of in like the middle portion of a trilogy called The Vow, because now Tyler's kind of being trained in the ways of the samurai. I kind of equate this is the Empire Strikes Back portion of the story, if you will.
Okay.
Where everything goes to shit.
Love it. And so is that what's happening then in issue 4?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Egos get cashed in. People go too far, and both people will never be the same.
Ooh. Foreboding.
Blood shall be shed. Arms shall be severed. Hopefully in that order.
Right. So, okay. So if you've been writing, if this was like one of the first tales that you started writing, is it hard for you to put your characters through these trials, or like do you already have the trials, the redemption, like do you already have Revenge of the Sith?
Do I have the Red Dead Redemption plan?
Yeah, like do you have all of that already? So like you're okay with putting them through hell right now because you know it's going to get better, or is it?
Yeah, like when I write these stories, I tend to plan out the through line, and I know where this is going. Like I actually already have issue 5 mostly written. I just kind of need to write like kind of like the like the epilogue a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, the water went down the wrong pipe. And so like yeah, I know where things go. I know how things and like I don't know. I've never really empathized with it. Like, oh, I can't do this to my characters. I can't do that. I'm like, no, put them through twat. Like, I on the flip side, I'm not like against the like I'm gonna kill my characters. I'm gonna put like no. Try to like struggle is the essence of conflict, and conflict is the essence of storytelling.
Yeah. And
so if you want to have a good story, you need to put your characters through trials. And sometimes you need to put them in situations you'd rather not. You know, you got like, I'm not a George R. R. Martin, but I'm not on the other side where it's like I baby my characters. I try to have like a happy medium.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's then like very intentional for you for like the level of conflict and struggle that you're putting them through.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They say the strongest steel is forged in the hottest of fires.
Yep. Yeah. There's all the metaphors for that, right?
I mean, yeah, I could just be shouting metaphors more all day, but you know what I'm saying.
So do the conflicts then like is that what you use to kind of open the door to introduce new characters, or do they come along like on their own paths and just kind of clash, and then they're together for a while and then they split off again? Like how do you approach?
Well, I try to keep like a main
in...
cast of characters. Like every so often, I'll kind of like extend the world a little bit, introduce more people. But it's very much kind of like as a plot demands. Like I have my core cast of characters, and there's like some ancillary characters that kind of flit in and out.
Okay. I mean, that probably makes it easier for you to keep track of when you're just writing the scripts and everything, right?
Yeah, I don't need to keep a notebook of who's sleeping with whom.
That's fair. So you do the writing on the book. How did you gather your team of creatives? Like how did you
it was
find
a bit of
them?
a slow but steady kind of process, because Turn Samurai started in 2020. They kind of took about 6 months or so to kind of get everything going. Like I went through a couple different artists. One artist did like most of issue 1, and then they had to tap out when it was almost done. And then from there, I hooked up with an artist named Brian Q, who turned out me and him worked really well together. And I've worked with him on all the issues of Creature Sense, as well as some of my other books that I've done as well.
Okay. Nice. How many books have you done?
You talking titles or just individual issues?
Yes.
Okay. Let's do the smaller number first and the bigger number. So the number of titles that I have done, I would say at this point is 3 different IPs. The first one was Project Access. I did a single issue of that one, and that I had a bit of a falling out with the artist. We've kind of since mended fences, but it's a bit of a project that's on hold at the moment. They're Torn Samurai, which we're here today. I've done 4 issues of that one. And then the other one is Screecher, which is kind of like the one that most people tend to know me for. That one kind of came out and just kind of blew up instantly, and I'm really grateful for it. That one's also done with Brian. I've done 2 issues of it. So I guess 1 + 4 = 5.
So 7 total then?
Seven total. Dear God. Like, we put it that way, I'm like, holy crap, I've been around longer than I thought.
That's cool. Is this something that you, like, did you always kind of plan to make comics, or like, was this just a creative outlet for you that kind of turned into a, like, well, now it's 2024 and you have 7 issues that you've written and gotten out into the world? What was your planning, or was it planning?
Well, my mom did say that I emerged from the womb reading that week's issue of Batman. how it got up her thing, I have no idea. But
some things are better left unsaid.
I came sliding out of the womb like this. The first word was Batman, so
perfect.
I'm sorry. Just this whole atmosphere we're having, I'm sarcastic as fuck. I'm so sorry.
It's great. No, don't apologize. I'm the same way. I just, at my regular job, we're training a new girl today. And once I got to my proper level of caffeination, I started being very sarcastic and sassy. And I had to be like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're not used to this yet. I'm kind of a sarcastic dick. Like
trial by fire, sink or swim.
Both feet into the pool. Go for it.
Either she's gonna keep up or she's gonna be left behind. Like, that's always the great thing. It's like when you're sarcastic as fuck and you meet someone who can throw it back.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have been.
When you meet a lady who can throw it back. I'm sorry, that was so dumb.
Yeah, I might have.
You're not at the proper level of caffeination yet to get the joke. Sorry,
that's all right.
Getting so off the rails.
That's quite all right. You lost me. We were talking sarcasm. And
we're talking about like comic books, and
we're talking about comic books. Yeah, we're talking about comics.
I'm going to be the responsible one here.
Great,
and
perfect.
Just kind of really answer the question.
Perfect.
So basically, I've always seen myself as a talented person, and I feel this kind of something. I have a belief in my bones that like I have talents, I'm skilled and stuff, and to not use them would be a waste of a life. And I've been kind of pursuing comics in one way or another. This was 2007, 2008. I was a part of a third-party comic company for about 10 years, from about 2008 to about roughly 2019. And this question is going to kind of lead into like another question you're planning on answering me, so I'm just going to head you off in the pass.
Great.
So through some stuff happened, and I ended up leaving that company around 2019. And basically, I didn't know what to do, so I basically did my inner bender, and I was like, I'm going to start my own comic company with blackjack and hookers. So fun fact. All right, I've told this story a couple of times. I was this close to calling my company Blackjack and Hookers Comics, but I kind of figured it wouldn't really work well. Like, wait, why are this company Blackjack and Hookers Comics? Like, it probably would have gotten shortened to like BJH Comics or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
And so, as fun as that sounded, I chose the Phoenix. And I think people kind of watching this might be able to like skip ahead. So the reason I chose the Phoenix is because the Phoenix is reincarnation. It's, you know, reborn from the ashes, and that's kind of what I wanted to be. You know, like every defeat is a chance to go stronger. You know, what is dead may never die. You know, like all the bullshit jargon you want to throw out. You know,
Yeah.
But that's just kind of like, that's why my emblem is a phoenix. You know, you may kill me, but I will come back stronger than before.
I like it. And I mean, that's also like, that follows true to your story of like, you know, leaving the prior company and then deciding like, I'm just going to bootstrap it and doing it yourself. And then
it's almost
also,
like I did it on purpose.
It's almost like you meant to do that. That's crazy. It's wonderful what a little bit of just thinking about stuff can do to really benefit things. So like how logistically, like how does starting a comic book publishing company work? Like how, if someone is like, I want to do that, but like how did you?
See, this is where I'm actually really grateful for the 10 years under the other person, because that was kind of like a 10-year internship where I learned a lot of stuff. I basically served as his number 2 man, and he taught me a lot of stuff, like in regards to printing and just like the basics of the comic book industry. So I feel like when I went to start the company, I either knew enough to kind of get started, or more importantly, I knew which questions to ask. Because that's really important is, you know, you can't ask a question if you don't know what question to ask.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's like, oh, all right, I didn't know that was a question needed. Like I knew what I didn't know. But more importantly, I knew what exactly I needed to know, kind of thing. Like, and I think that was really helpful. And I think that did kind of give me a bit of a kickstart, because like I was already somewhat familiar, because like I already made the original version of Project Access under that company. So I'd already kind of released my first comic already. Okay. So I wasn't starting from scratch. Like I maybe was starting at like 2 or 3, but that's better than a lot of people. So yeah, I actually am eternally grateful to the mentorship I received, and it has actually helped me a lot in getting to where I am today.
That's great, because yeah, you're right. Like not everybody has that that ability or that chance to learn for almost 10 years and then you know, strike out on their own. Like if it was me starting my own thing and be like, how to start a comic publisher, go
yeah, because like it would be little things like we you know, like I could just be, it could be weeks between lessons or whatever. You just like say one thing, like little nuggets of information would just kind of come out here or there.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like sitting down, kind of like learning everything and whatnot. Like for example, just kind of give you examples. Like now it's at like you don't really know at the start. When you're printing books, printing is done in multiples of 4. So like 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So like let's say you write a 22-page comic script. You're gonna have 2 pages that you're gonna need to fill in. Now you can either write 2 pages or you can fill them in with advertisements. You know, that's something that you need to be aware of when you're writing a script.
Yeah.
For a comic that you intend to print.
Yeah,
that's just an example of like little bits of knowledge that you glean. And now everyone else knows it. So
now you're just giving away the information.
Hey, it's fine. It's lonely on the mountaintop. Come join me.
So tell me then, tell me about the campaign right now on Indiegogo. As I'm looking at the campaign right now on Indiegogo. So you've got the flexible goal, and I'm relatively new to, like, I have always been a Kickstarter person. I'm new to understanding and learning about like how Indiegogo does their stuff. So like, what's the flexible?
That means whatever you raise, you get.
Okay.
So right now, I've raised $925 of my $1,500 goal. I'm used to kind of meeting my goal earlier, but you know, sometimes these things kind of happen. So you just got to do the best you can. So but like of that 900, I'll be able to fulfill. Everyone who's ordered stuff, they'll be able to get stuff. So at least be able to fulfill what's ordered. So like, there's that. That's cool. I'll still be able to get some copies of the books out. Maybe not as much as I wanted, but that is life.
Yeah. Yeah. And then
either roll with the punches or just, you know,
you got to be the Phoenix, right? Too much. All right, got it.
No, not enough. I'd say not enough.
So okay, so if you like, obviously this is issue 4. So if you're doing like, how many? Do you have a total number of issues planned that you might be able to do? Like
there are 5 issues planned.
Okay.
I will say, because this is kind of underperforming, I may be kind of rejiggering some of my plans going forward. Not really ready to reveal exactly what, but sure. I will say, if I can get to the 1,500 before it ends, I'm a lot more likely to continue on as planned. But if it's not able to, I'm going to have to reconfigure things. But issue 5 and volume 1 will be completed at some point.
Got it. Yeah, because I was going to wonder, like, is that something that maybe you could do like a catch-up tier similar to what...
I do catch-up tiers in every campaign.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there it is. Yep, great. Okay, see, I just didn't scroll down far enough. That's... because I wonder, like, because I've never run a Kickstarter, I've only ever backed a ton of them. Like, is that a chance to sell more of like an issue that might have undersold the first time around, but then you see like a resurgence in like, what's your I guess like backer retention from campaign to campaign? Do you track that?
Not like solidly. I don't know. I don't really have hard numbers to give. Like most of my stuff, I do get a lot of my stuff from Twitter, and even this campaign had a very strong opening. It's just, you know, stuff happens. You know, I probably made some mistakes along the way. You know, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got 1 week left. We've got a question for you here. No mustard tier? I don't know what that means.
I know what Baby Krogan is doing. Also, hi. I think they're trying to make a play off of ketchup.
Oh, damn it! Why did I?
Baby Krogan. Now I'm gonna have to name the Screecher 3 the mustard and ketchup tier just because of you.
There it is.
No one is gonna know why, but I'm just gonna be like, because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, just go. It's on the internet now. So just,
and
just
it's
go
forever.
and watch the thing. So
Yeah. Somebody cut this.
Yeah, no,
Oh yeah, I know, Baby Krogan. I love it. Please keep it coming.
I love the dad jokes. And okay, so like brief tangent, because now we're talking about dad jokes and I like thrive in dad jokes.
Oh my
I
god, I think we just became best friends.
I may or may not have a text thread with my wife, my mother-in-law, and then my wife's aunt and uncle and her two cousins, where I just record like very short, like one joke at a time, and then I'll just send them videos of like random dad jokes at random times at random days of the week. And I am having a blast doing it. Like I'm living my best life because they're all terrible. Because they're dad jokes. But some of them are like actually really, really funny. And I just love that when we get together for family stuff, they're like, man, you've got to stop with these jokes.
So
Like,
you know what you need to do? You need to get a fidget spinner. Start spinning. It says, "Hey guys, do you like my fad jokes?" And now he realizes, holy crap, he's one of us.
I love it. I just
had to come up with that. I'm something on the spot. So.
Yeah, no. It worked. It worked. I have such a dry sense of like delivery with everything that I will just work stuff into regular conversation. Like with my new coworker, we were talking and it was like, yeah, no, when I was in college, like I was studying to actually like work on submarines, but then I realized that the industry was sinking, so like I changed my major and I got into broadcasting and like just kept going. And she was like, no one caught it. And so instead of pointing it out, I just kept going. I was like, whatever, you missed it. It's too late now. And so I'm just going to push right through. But that's my delivery with those. So, and I agree. They are peak humor because it takes a certain level of wit, right, to come up with them and to appreciate them and tell them and all the things. So
what is the official cake of June?
What is the official cake of June? I have no idea.
Pancakes.
I don't.
It's Pride Month.
Pancake. Yep. Okay. All right. See. Yeah. See. Okay, got it. Yeah.
He's like, holy crap, this dude's on that level.
Way beyond where I'm operating right now. So there's no transition for any of this. So I'm just gonna jump into before we went to live, before we hit that live button, we were talking music. And I can't help but unplannedly notice that you have a guitar behind you. So I'm assuming
it's not like I showed it off before the stream. So.
It's not at all like we planned any of this. So tell me about like your history with music as like playing guitar. How did you get into it? Was there a band that you heard that you were like, I want to do that thing? Tell me about your music.
Anyone who plays music, they all have their inspirations, and mine is definitely in their Nirvana camp. I mean, you saw my guitar. It's a Jaguar. You probably could have guessed.
Yeah. I could have.
It's a Jaguar with humbuckers in it. Like it's there's only it's pretty so yeah. I definitely come out of that Nirvana camp, like the grunge.
Mm-hmm.
But also kind of like a little bit of like the 80s hair metal, like kind of like the stuff like Mick Mars from Motley Crue, just also like Noodles from Offspring, big fan of that. Love my power chords. I friggin' love my power chords.
Yeah, I understand that completely. So like, were you like in bands? Or were you just like, I'm just gonna play for fun and like it's just
I'm gonna play for fun. I've done some open mic nights. I've tried to audition for bands. They've gone very terribly. There may have been some actual tomatoes thrown. I don't know where they got them, but somehow,
no way. That doesn't happen. That's not
You're right.
real
It doesn't
life.
happen. It's complete bullshit. But I actually have tried out for band. I think I tried out for like one band, and I didn't make it, but like I kind of hung out with the guy for a little bit, and he's like, "Hey, at least you tried to learn the song." Well, and he was like, "Say a lot of the people who tried out today didn't even bother." So it's like I wasn't bottom of the barrel, but I was like just right above it. So I will take it.
That's my sweet spot. I'm not at the bottom. I'm just like just above it, and that's right where I'm comfortable.
At least I'm not the worst.
Right. I don't subscribe to the if you're not first, you're last, because I'm never first. So like for me, I gotta celebrate the small wins.
It's kind of the key to having a happy marriage is not being first.
That is that is also
oh
a valid
my god, that is that's a bad joke. But good advice.
Right. Yeah.
And we're walking.
And we're just gonna so does music play into like your creative process when you're writing? Do you listen to
I
music
would actually say
write?
definitely yes. Because I view script writing as kind of more like music creation process. Like there's a certain rhythm to scenes, how things flow from one to the other. Because music is basically conflict resolution. You know, tension release, setup, payoff, shave and a haircut, 2 bits. Yep. You know, like that's how the best way I can describe it. And I kind of see comics as the same way. It's like I have a story beat and they kind of like crescendo into something, and they go to the next beat. That's kind of how I write my scripts, and it's just everything kind of flows from one thing to the other. You get your beats that I love it when when I'm writing a scene and I get to the part where everything just kind of smacks down on you. It's really great. I enjoy it.
That's cool. So when you're writing, do you like start at the script level, or do you like does your brain work like mine where I just have to write down all the things that I'm thinking and then go back and be like, God, how do I put this into okay, and then you like order stuff, and then you start to actually flesh out what the scenes look like, what the pages look like, what the panels look like how does that come together for you?
Well, originally when I started, I just kind of was like, all right, just go. And I'd write a really good issue 1, and I'd be like, I have no idea where to go from here. So I kind of adopted a strategy of like, all right, you're going to create the whole first volume at once, like 4 or 5 issues or whatever. And you do like a plot synopsis, characters, and then you do an outline of each issue.
Okay.
That's like a 1 or 2 page thing. And so when you go and do the book, you know where you're going. And obviously sometimes it'd be like, all right, I know I wrote that for the outline. I'm going to go in a different direction here. And that's fine. That's kind of how it works anyway. But the whole point is when you don't know where to go, the outline be like, oh, that's where I was intending to go. And you're back on track. That has saved my hide so many times.
I mean, that's like life hacking yourself in the future. If you're like creating here's the outline, and all I got to do is remember that I have the outline, and I can come back to it and reference it, and it'll keep me where I need to be going.
And usually by the end of the first volume, you kind of know where things are going anyway. So, even if you just leave it there, you'd be like, okay. Because I always like to leave like little kind of like, and the chair turns, and it's like I always kind of leave that like a little hook to the next one.
Yeah. And I feel like in comics, like that's definitely a thing that has to happen, because that's how you lead your readers to continuing to pick up your series, right? Like it's not all like the old like 50s and 60s Marvel stuff where like every issue was its own thing and it got a full explanation and a full rundown of the characters, and then you get like 10 pages of story.
Sequential storytelling. It's like, all right, we're gonna do this issue of X-Men. We're gonna start in 1972. It's gonna come out every month, and the storyline is not gonna be resolved till 1981.
And people in 2024 are gonna love it, and they're gonna have a podcast, and they're gonna wear battle jacket. I love the X-Men. That's my jam. Like this is.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad X-Men. I'm sorry, X-Men has kind of been dead for like the last 10 years because Disney's been doing everything they can to bury it. And Fox really has been putting out the best of movies. But I'm just really glad X-Men's kind of back, baby.
Yeah, like 97 was unbelievably good. And
Oh yeah, I
it
had a
was
few
such
issues
a
with it, but overall it's a good experience.
right. Yeah, I like the pacing that they had, the like episodic storytelling was done well, and also the sequential, like telling the tale of Bastion over the entire series was like just
My biggest thing
super.
is there were some instances where the animation was bad, but that's more of a minor complaint. My big thing is they kind of sped run through some storylines, like the Inferno thing that could have been its own season.
Yeah.
Also, it's like after episode 5, that's when they kind of got like, I feel like episodes 1 through 5 are kind of like, all right, we're gonna do a bunch of standalone stuff, but after Genosha, that's when they kind of went like, that's when the show really got good, when they went full on like straight line storytelling. And I wish that would have been the whole season, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, and stuff like the Storm and Forge like half episode was like, what, you could have made that 3 episodes. You know, like
Exactly, like the like stuff that like there could like like I said, the Inferno could have been an entire season.
Yep.
That could have been like more stuff. The arcade thing, like while cool, it just felt very unnecessary.
It did feel, of everything in the show, that was the one that was like, what? Like, I have questions.
Like, yeah, I like that they like. Okay, it's cool that they reference the X-Men arcade, X-Men game from Sega Genesis, literally using the box art. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool that like they base stuff directly off of sprites from arcade games. Like, yeah, I like the references. I like the member berries, but like, we have an actual story around it, please. Like, one of my favorite like little member berries was right before Madeline Pryor transformed. You see their wedding picture, and it's from their comic cover. Like, that's a member berry I like.
Yeah, it was lifted straight from the page, and like, yeah, there was a lot of that watching it as someone that grew up reading like 90s Jim Lee X-Men.
Oh, speaking of like Dark Phoenix and like famous covers,
yeah,
look at the cover to issue 4. It might look a little familiar to you.
It might look a little homage-y.
Yeah,
is that a word?
I
We just made that a word.
I mean, I was trying to homage a certain Crisis, but also Dark Phoenix also
works. Yeah,
I mean, to be fair, it's like it's one of those covers that everyone homages.
Yeah. No, I immediately picked up on it, and I was like, this feels very familiar. And
this is what I love about the comic community. It's like we all kind of have like these things we keep homaging. Everyone groans like, oh great, another one of these homages. But we keep doing it anyway because like I don't care if it's been homaged like a million times. I would be the millionth because like we want our piece of the pie.
Yeah. I listen, if I had my own comic series, I would be doing homage covers to the bulk of like all of the X-Men books.
Imagine saying Baby Krogan is actually working on the alt cover for my next comic. That's actually both covers are going to be homages for 323. Baby Krogan, let's just say he's quite the detective.
Oh.
And then the main cover that I'm going to do for Screecher, let's just say it's a very famous slide.
Okay.
Referencing something we talked about earlier.
Indeed. I like it. See, you got to pay attention. If you hide stuff in the background of your comics, I'm instantly going to be a bigger fan of yours. Like, you're going to get extra points.
You should read Screecher, like the second issue. It's in her like old bedroom. I have like a ton of Easter eggs in there.
I love it. How would I find that? How would I find that if I wanted to find that and pick that up?
Well, right now it's available digitally on my Patreon. And if you want a physical one, I will be kickstarting it this October. So
October, my favorite month of all time.
That's when I do my Screecher. That's when I do my Screecher thing. But let me just pull up page 1 for you, sir. And let's just kind of. I love how I'm supposed to be pointing towards Samurai, but I mean,
at this point, like, it's a good. Can I? Yeah, we can do this. Let's see. There it is.
This is page 1
Okay.
of Screecher issue 2.
Okay.
Wait 1 second. Let me see if I have the letters for this. That might be because the dialogue in and of itself is a bit of a reference. All right. Okay, that's better.
I'm gonna drop that off.
All right, this will be better. All right, check this out.
Wakey, wakey, smell the bakey.
No, this part.
Owls are nocturnal. 3 o'clock-ish is pushing. Okay.
Do you get the reference?
I don't get the reference.
You've never seen Batman Begins?
I mean, I have seen Batman Begins.
Okay. There are three actually mod references here. Can you spot them all?
3. So I see your Moodvatar instead of Avatar.
Yeah, I was trying to make it like a little bit of a Reddit joke.
I feel like the stuffed animal leaning on the TV, the face is too unique. But
Do you like Final Fantasy?
Man, it's been like 15 years since I played Final Fantasy.
Baby fucking got it right.
Okay. Where is?
And then maybe around here.
Oh no, that cut off lettering.
This is her room as she left it in 2012.
She left it in 2012. So in 2012,
what would a 12-year-old girl be into? Some people are just screaming at their thing right now.
I know. Yeah. Help me out, baby Kurgan. Come on. You can.
Also,
is that My Chemical Romance?
Yes.
See that?
And that's a My Chemical Romance poster.
Ah, damn it! That's the side of the. Okay. Yeah. Nope. That's all right. All right. Yeah. I should have known that. That's good. Now, see, stuff like that like you can really dig into and really like that's kind of why I've started enjoying more digital comics, because I can really like blow up panels like that and take in all of the details.
I will say, Turn Samurai issue 4 also has a lot of those kind of things.
Okay.
I'm just going through issue 2 right now, so.
But not of 2100 Samurai.
Yeah, let's fix that, shall we? Let's fix it.
I love it. Oh, there we go. All right. Let's get stuff. See, like stuff like that. I feel like that's where, as a writer, you can do like small things, like including stuff like nods like that and Easter eggs that really enhance the experience for readers. When they know, like, even if I didn't know that stuff was there, I'd be like, oh, is that an Avatar poster? And then I would have seen the Welcome to the Black Parade cover. And then I would, wait a second. And I would have wanted to go back through and like dig back into what else did you hide? And then like, that's the fun that I end up having reading digital books that have stuff hidden in the background. Pepsi. Man, I love the fake. Don't forget to smile. But who's watching The Watchmen? Webman 3. Yeah, man, stuff like that. Like, that's so much fun.
Oh, God. Yeah. Also, don't just dig the art style on this thing.
It's super clean. Like, it feels like both a manga and a comic book, like at the same time, and having just the red be what pops color-wise is
this
like
is a bad combination.
Liquor, guns, and more.
I pair X.
I love it. Yeah, man. See, that's
Oh my god! Oh my god! By the way, I cannot take credit for any of these. These are all my artist. He put an Evangelion reference in here. There's an Evangelion reference in my comic.
I love it.
These
See,
are, by the way, these are all Brian. I cannot take credit.
I was gonna ask you, like, are there ones that you were like, hey, if you can work this in, that would be stupendous? Or is he
This
just
is all
like,
him going rogue, and I am so happy.
that's awesome. So there's an artist, David Rubin, that does just like super fun, very almost caricaturized artwork, but he always will include nods to other books that he's done in, like, there's a panel in one of his books where the main character is in Times Square, and like he put the cover from other books that he did as the like billboards and posters in Times Square, and he took like stuff like that is just super super fun.
This is why I really want to do the red in black and white.
Yeah,
take a look at that.
Yeah, man.
He lost his head.
That pop of blood it hits different when it's the only red with that character's body that's exploding. That's such a cool like action sequence of playing with the perspective of starting him in the background and just dicing that guy, coming forward for the chest stab, and then the double bladed jump in the background again. To have that movement that's top tier. That's good stuff. And the bloody sword.
I think you need to check this out. By the way, you can get all 4 issues digitally for $15.
Hey, that's a steal.
I know how much you like the digital stuff, so you can get all 4 of them for $15.
And I'm a sucker for a good ketchup and mustard tier, so yeah, that's good stuff. So people have a week left to back the campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Well, a week as of today.
6 days technically, but yeah.
So that means it ends on Sunday? Is that right? Is that mathing?
I'm not sure
right?
Exactly.
I don't have it.
If that's what your math is probably better than mine. So, so one of the benefits of this being in development so long is like I can put newer references in there. Mm-hmm. So this character, this nose plug was inspired by Dune.
By Dune.
And my lore is basically it's so that he can inject the drugs directly up his nose, like a constant stream of drugs. It's just one of those, because like I love like the nose plug things from Dune.
Yeah.
And so like I did that, and I created this lore like, oh, it's get the drugs constantly in his, whatever.
Yeah.
But by the way, this character's name is Spleen.
It's what?
Spleen.
Spleen. What a name.
And then this is Marrow. You could say he's quite the street fighter.
You could say that.
I have no shame. I have no shame. Oh my god! If you want to see how like let's see here. You want to know how little shame I have?
I would love to know. Hadouken!
By the way, in the letters, he actually shouts Shoryuken in this panel.
That's awesome.
I may or may not be very proud of this. So,
yeah, as you should be, man. Like,
also, like, just this panel, like, just
that's awesome. Right into the jugular.
He went right for the jugular.
That's cool. A lot of really good action there. A lot of very bloody action, which is super fun to have in any comic book, especially when you only are highlighting red in the color palette.
Yeah.
I like it. Thanks for sharing those. That was, I liked being able to look at pages and just kind of dig into stuff that you're excited about. Like, that's how it should be, right? Is if you're making a comic, you should like the stuff that you're making. Have you gotten pages back and just been like, I can't believe this is my comic?
That's like every time he drops. Like, well, the thing is, these are done in stages. So like going from like the shade, from like the inks to the shade, was quite the revelation, because like it looked good in the like the ink stage, but when he started shading it, oh my god. I'm kind of digging it up right now. All right. Like,
it's when you really start to put the meat on the bones, per se.
here are the inks. Here's what it looked like just in the inks stage. Like,
Okay.
here's the thing. This looks good. I could have
Yeah.
published it directly as this.
Yeah.
Like, and I probably would have been fine. You know, to be fully honest. Like, just looking at this, yeah, this was good enough on its own, but the shade just adds a whole nother kind of level.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. It's got to be super rewarding to like start with writing a story and then start seeing it come to life, and then like getting the printed book. I don't know how you don't just like, I don't know, sit like a weirdo in your living room and just be like, I made this thing. Like,
I mean,
you're not saying
it is very nice.
Yet?
It is very nice. But like, yeah. So you remember I was showing you this panel originally. Like, just kind of imagine the old panel you had. Now you see this. Like, the panel works.
Yeah.
But like this, like the shading and the red.
Yeah.
Like, because like with the red, your eyes are kind of drawn to this
immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very catching and popping. Like, this art is good. Like I said, I could have released this as is, and it probably would have been fine.
Yeah.
But I think it's just like the extra stuff is like that extra oomph.
Yep. Yep. I like it. All right. So here's the thing. I am at the end of my questions. But I like to, when I run out of questions, I have one final thing that I like to do, and that's just open up the floor for you. So if there's anything that you have on your brain or on your heart, or that you just want to say or want people to know, it could be about you, could be about the book, could be about whatever. This is your open forum to just say whatever, and that's how we'll come to the end of this interview. So the floor is yours, my friend.
Well, like I said, no matter what happens, all orders will be fulfilled. And please stay tuned, because I got a lot more coming out this year. I have my novel, Lost Kingdom, coming out in August. That's going to be pretty awesome. Screecher #3, coming out in October. I'll be sharing more of Screecher once Turn Samurai gets shipped, because I feel like that's only right. But thank you, everyone who's gotten me this far, and I'm really excited to see where things go.
That's awesome. How do people stay until, like, how do people keep up with you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter, formerly known at X, formerly known as Twitter. Search The Phoenix Press. YouTube, search the same. Pretty active on both. I do a lot of like gaming live streams. Got my Friday Night Frenzy Talk stuff. You can find me on Instagram, or we're gonna shoot me a line at biz.phoenixpress@gmail.com. Tell me how much I suck. Tell me like, hey, when can I buy your comics or whatever. I'm always happy to help.
Perfect. And I will, anything, I know I've got some of those already in the description. If I missed anything, just shoot them to me and I'll make sure that they get updated. And then when I reshare this video, I will make sure to tag you in all of the places so that anybody that missed it can go back and watch it again. I have learned that my live numbers are typically low, but my rewatchability is where I get all of my views from. So yeah, but thanks to Baby Krogan for hanging out in the comments and giving us an extra voice and extra reason to talk about dad jokes, because any reason's a good reason for that. So Nick, dude, thanks for hanging out with me on a Monday evening. I will definitely be doing the ketchup and mustard tier on Indiegogo. and so that I can get into the digital goodness of 2100 Samurai. I think it's a cool looking book, man. Like, super stoked that you are putting it out there and that you've got 7 issues to your name. That is no small feat. So good on you, man, for rising as a phoenix would. How's that for a full circle moment for you right here on the Long Box Punk, dude? Thanks for hanging out. I'm not going to do the Midwestern thing where I just talk for 10 hours. So I will say thanks for tuning in. And that's going to do it for this interview, punks. So as I always like to tell you, you need to stop watching videos and start reading some indie comics. Until next time, we're out of here.